We're getting back to basics today, boys, and we are live. We're going live.
We'll do it live.
You're listening to the premier podcast for men who want to not only be better with women, but want to be better men in general. This is the Come On Man podcast. And here's your host, Paul Bauer.
Good morning, everybody. It's Monday, guys, and we are live. Please tell me you're not having a case of the Mondays. Please tell me you're not having a case of the Mondays. Are any of you guys having a case of the Mondays? It's like the movie Office Space when he asked his friend who works in construction if anyone ever asks him if he's having a case of the Mondays. And his friend in construction says, "Nah, man. Shit. Nah, man. I believe you get your ass kicked for saying something like that." Ah, damn it. And we're not at the 8-minute mark, and I'm probably going to lose monetization now. So, guys, please do send some super chats today. Anyway. Oh, man. Anyway, we are going to be going over Rollo's. That's Rollo Tomassi for you guys that are new to the space. If you guys don't know who he is, he's the author of the Rational Male book series. Phenomenal books. I highly recommend you read them. The first two, I would say, are probably ones that you should add to your multi-read list. If not, at least the first one, you got to add it to your multi-read list, okay? It's paramount. If you're going to understand the whammon, you got to read at least the first Rational Male, okay? And read it multiple times. It's a very good book. So we're going to be going over Rollo's 9 Iron Rules today. The Iron Rules of Tomassi, many of you guys already know them, or at least have heard of them. And for you, today is going to be a refresher, okay? Some of you have never heard of these. It will be good for you as well. So Rollo has said on numerous occasions that these were never meant to be like, 12 rules for life kind of thing. But I would consider them a pretty solid base framework for how to handle certain situations, right? Like your ex comes sniffing back around. Iron Rule number 7. It's pretty good. In fact, I would say I quote Iron Rule number 7 and probably Iron Rule number 1 the most out of all of these because they come up so much. And there's new guys always coming into the space and they're always trying to get their ex back. And, guys have no frame and it's like frame's everything, bro. And don't take your ex back because of Iron Rule number 7, blah, 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 blah. We'll get into all that today. Oh, man. So anyway, I would consider these a pretty solid framework for how to handle certain things in your dating and relationships, at least. And much like any other maxim or mental model you find in the red pill space, right? You got to apply it to your situation, to what you want out of life, right? And sort of take what's useful. So rather than hard and fast rules, even though they're called like the Iron Rules, the Iron Rules, they're more like guidelines, right? That'll help you navigate the sexual marketplace. Guys, before we get too far into this, be sure to like, subscribe, hit those notifications, please. And guys, please do sound off in the live chat today. We are live on a Monday, so please sound off and participate. If you say something, if you're on Facebook right now, if you're on YouTube right now, and even if you're on X right now, if you say something in the comments, I could bring it up on the screen, okay? So if you want to join the conversation, if you have a unique viewpoint on some of these rules, share them. All right, I'll bring it up on screen. Okay, be a part of the podcast today. And then, guys, please do send super chats. That helps support the show probably more than anything else. And I already opened my fat mouth and dropped a couple of naughty words that the YouTube algorithm doesn't like right there at the beginning. So please help a brother out. Unmess that up. Oh, for me, please. Okay, so let's get to the first one here. Let me just also say too, and I think this is important, right? Rollo is one of the most influential guys in the space. Rollo, basically, everyone steals from Rollo, right? Everyone's learned from Rollo because Rollo's been around so long in the space, and he's got like the most books, right? Well, Afi Kingdom, I think, has the most books, but Rollo has the most like dense books, you know. And everyone quotes Rollo, right? Everyone quotes Rollo, but most people don't give Rollo credit. Like people sort of pass this off like it's their idea. Like I will never do that. I will never do that. I will always at least make an attempt to cite my sources when I'm lifting things from other people. And most of us are all singing with other people's music. You know who I heard say that? Rich Cooper. Okay, so shout out to Rich. We're all singing with the same music, right? But a lot of us are quoting guys like Rollo, right? So I always like to make sure that you guys know that like this isn't my stuff. I'm not even trying to claim it as mine. I learned this stuff from Rollo. I've applied it to my toolbox. Okay, so shout out to Rollo. So let's go with the first one here, guys. Iron Rule of Tomassi number 1: frame is everything. Okay, always be aware of the subconscious balance of whose frame in which you are operating. Always control the frame, but resist giving the impression that you are. What is frame, Paul? Well, this book is probably the number 1 book on frame. There's no other book out there that explains frame quite like this, right? So the way I used to describe frame before reading Ryan's book was it's sort of like your worldview. It's how you view things, right? It's your perception of reality, right? But Ryan breaks it down even further into a tetrahedron, right? A pyramid for you guys that don't use big $10 words like tetrahedron, right? But you know what a pyramid is. It's like a 3-sided pyramid or like a tripod, right? And each leg of this tripod, right, is or angle, I guess, of the pyramid makes up your frame, right? So you have your physical pillar, you have your what is it? Your emotional pillar, and you have your intellectual pillar, right? And those 3 make up your vision or you're like where you want to go, right? What do you want out of your life? What do you really want, right? Those 3 together form your vision. That's your frame. Okay, where do you want to go? How you see your life going? Stuff like that. Anything outside your belief system, everything, right? Anything outside of that is funny or amusing to you. Okay, there's no need to get upset when someone disagrees with you. There's no need to really sort of get mad when someone calls you bald because who cares, right? Who cares, right? That's all frame. Okay, guys with good frame don't get rattled easily. I'm a 3% man, right? I've read Corey Wayne's book, How to Be a 3% Man, 22 times, and he always talks about being in your center all the time, right? Being in your center. I think he gets that from David Data, right? Because we all learn from other people. I think he gets that from David Data. Being in your center, being a centered man, that is frame. They're essentially talking about the same thing, right? Okay. Once you it's funny, once you develop your frame and you get good at maintaining that frame and not falling into other people's frame, like your life gets so much better. It gets so much better. I'm gonna I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, but I'm going to be doing a bunch of micro courses, and one of the micro courses is going to be on how to develop frame, right? I'm going to do that. I'm going to put that out here. Look for it soon. All right, let's talk about the next one here, guys. Iron Rule of Tomassi number 2. This one's funny. I don't talk about this one enough, right? We always talk about body count in the red pill space, right? But we're always pointing the finger at the woman, like, what's her body count? What's her body count, right? We're going to talk about guys' body counts, but Iron Rule number 2 is about your body count, bro. Iron Rule of Tomassi number 2: never, under pain of death, honestly or dishonestly reveal the number of women you slept with or explain any detail of your sexual experiences with them to a current lover. Okay. So basically, don't talk about your body count and your past history with your current lover, right? So Rollo, he comes sorry, Rollo says it comes off as pretentious and is often the catalyst for resentment from women when you start bragging about how many chicks you've banged, how many notches you got, right? It's funny too because if you're like you just met a chick and she's just getting to know you and she's not sure if she could trust you yet, because a lot of times sex comes about when once a woman feels safe and comfortable with you and she knows that you're not going to be blabbing all around town about her because she's worried about her reputation. She doesn't want to just be another notch, right? But if you overtly communicate that you bang lots of chicks, she's going to be worried that she's just going to be another notch count. You see what I'm saying? Like it could be problematic for you. So Rollo also says that when women ask, she's seeking confirmation of what she already suspects, and you shouldn't give her the satisfaction. So basically it's a shit test, right? If she asks, right? And I kind of look at it very similarly to when women ask you if you're seeing anybody. All right, a lot of guys make the mistake when they're out on the dating circuit, and women ask them, "So, are you seeing anybody right now?" A lot of guys think what the women want to hear is, "No, I'm not seeing anybody right now. I'm loyal," right? Which is like, why are you loyal, dude? You just met this chick. There's nothing to be loyal to. But a lot of guys think that's what she wants to hear, right? So, but you don't also have to tell her, "Yeah, I'm dating 5 chicks right now," right? They don't want to know that either. Basically, they want a confirmation of what they already suspect, which is if you're good with her, if you're a smooth talker with her and she's attracted to you, she's getting the impression that you're probably good with other women, right? That's why women say stuff like, "You probably take all the girls here," right? They say stuff like that. It's like they want to know, but they don't want to know at the same time, right? Telling her that you're not seeing anybody basically says that you don't fuck, right? You don't have any other options. Okay. And this comes down to pre-selection. Women are more attracted to guys who have options with women. Guys who are good with women, women are more attracted to. It basically says, hey, other guys think this guy's a high value guy. I think he is too, right? Comes out to pre-selection, right? So telling if you tell her you're not seeing anyone right now, it tells her that no women like you. So why should she? You understand? So you want to be sort of vague with this. That I recommend this. Now, like if you're someone that's into like mode 1, like the direct approach, like you can tell women like, "Yeah, I'm seeing a bunch of women." You can do that. It does work for some guys. I just happen to personally believe that is probably more effective to just say, "I always have room for one more," right? Be vague about it and let that hamster wheel do the work for you, right? Let the hamster in her brain do the work for you with that sort of thing. Okay. And we got a lot of people in the chat today. All right. We got a bunch of super chats today. Thanks, man. Let's see here. Let's start from the top here. Let's see here. Omega says noob here. Also, good morning. Good. So this might be new stuff for you. Yeah, Arm Detail Beer Club and the Dragons have arrived. Hell yeah. Love my brothers in the beer club and the Dragons. Mike Steele says, "Morning, men, we up." Nurse Chick says, "This is an actual live." Good morning, Nathan. That's because brother Nathan says, "Sup, Nurse Chick." Dodger says, "Let's fucking go." And okay, let's see here. Dodger does say he does have a little bit of case of the Mondays. Bro, you're going to get your ass kicked for saying something like that. Let's see here. Mitch says, "I found you guys after consuming the crap out of Corey Wayne's ex kids. Not the best since I was stuck there for like a year and a half." What do you mean, Corey Wayne's ex kids? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Oh, X vids. Oh, his X vids. Yes. Yeah. So Corey Wayne. See, Corey Wayne is I love his book, How to Be a 3% Man. Fantastic book. I highly recommend it. But Corey's all about brand and marketing, right? So I hate to say this because I have a really good friend who's making money hand over fist right now, being a breakup coach for guys, because he realized that he's making way more money as a breakup coach than he ever was as a quote dating coach. And I'm just like, I can't do it. I can't do it morally, right? Like I have a moral objection to guys getting back together with their exes. It like never works out, right? I'm a very strong believer in Iron Rule number 7, which we'll get to. But Corey Wayne does that, right? Like that's how he attracts people to his space too, right? He has the 7 steps to reattract your ex, right? And a lot of guys start following his videos on how to reattract an ex. It's like, man, you're just spinning your wheels, man. But a lot of guys have to learn that the hard way, you know? Unfortunately. So I hear you. I'm not trying to shit on Corey, but it is an excellent marketing strategy if you want to get into this space. Let's see here. Pretty much MOA, Rollo. Come on, man. A bit of whatever, fresh and fit rounds out well. A rounded batch of male social media creators. Well, I don't know. I mean, Rollo, yes. Me, yes. Yeah, the other guys are questionable. Don't get me into a beef, guys. Don't get me into a beef. Yeah, all Rule 0 guys are gold, honestly. Best group. Yeah, I would say that. If you guys are looking for actionable information in the red pill space, it's the Rule 0 crew. No one else, bar none. Okay. And that's not just me because I'm on the Rule 0 panel. I'm serious. I consume all this shit just like you guys do. And most of it's sensationalism. It's not actionable information on how to improve yourself. Right. Am I related to Aaron Clary? He's my my long lost uncle. Yeah. He's my he's my shorter brother with more hair. That's what it is. My shorter brother with more hair. Clary's a good dude. We go hiking sometimes. He tries to fucking kill me. All right, guys. Before we get too far into this, where are we at here? We're on social media. Guys, follow me on social media. The links are in the description. I'm on all the good platforms. Get on my email list, guys. List.comeonmanpod.com. I'll send you some free stickers. You get 20 dating app openers that are guaranteed to capture a woman's attention in the first 7 words. And I'll also give you a free chapter of my book. We're talking about Rollo's work today, but I have a book too, guys. Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18. It's a real book, okay? Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18. You get a free chapter if you sign up for the email list. It's on the 4 different ways to meet women. If you guys don't want the stickers, though, I always get returns, especially from you international bastards. If you don't want stickers, just put "don't want stickers" in the address field, and I won't waste a stamp on you. But if you do want stickers, make sure you know how to write your fucking address, okay? And if you've moved recently, make sure you put your new fucking address on there, you son of a bitch. Okay. And then, guys, do get my book, right? You can get it on Amazon. If you go to books.comeonmanpod.com, you'll find it in all the different versions, including Audible and Kindle. It is available on Audible if you're an Audible listener, okay? My man, RP Thor, did the narration for me. I'm going to play a commercial for that, and then we'll get back to Rollo's Iron Rules. Life is a journey filled with twists and turns. Why is it that essential life lessons aren't taught in school? You probably know that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, but do you know how to invest in a Roth IRA? We're not taught to build ourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. The roadmap to success is more than just a college degree. You don't have to follow the traditional route. Success isn't confined to a classroom. It's about discovering your own path. You ever wish that someone handed you a guidebook to life when you were 18? Well, it's never too late to rewrite your story. Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18. Advice for young men to create a great life for themselves. This book is your compass, guiding you to pick the right career, how to invest wisely, and how to prepare for a fulfilling future. To take control of your health and your fitness. Learn how to date efficiently and find genuine desire. And master the art of leading healthy relationships. Your path is defined by the choices you make, not by others' expectations. Don't wait until you're 35 to unlock your potential. Order your copy now on Amazon. Rewrite your story. Build the life you deserve. Guys, get the book. I do quote Rollo a little bit in my book, especially his 5th book, The Player's Handbook. It was a phenomenal book. There's lots of really good maxims in that book. He's got 49 maxims in that book. I quote several of those in there. I also quote some Iron Rules and stuff too, especially the frame one. Jim says, I need you guys, let's see. Thank you for what you do. 52 years old and still learning every day. Yeah, man. There's a lot of, it's funny. A lot of people don't realize, especially young bucks, right? They're like, why is this old guy with a gray beard talking about dating and relationships? Like, shouldn't he be talking about grandchildren and shit? It's like, first of all, fuck off. And then two, there's so many guys that end up in this space after, 30-year marriages and stuff that didn't work out. It's like they didn't know what they didn't know. And that's how they find their way to this space. And it's guys of all ages. Even guys in their 60s. One of my one-on-one coaches or coaching clients right now is in his 60s right now. So yeah, this stuff applies to every guy, no matter how old you are. Mike wants me to, he wanted to remind me to get to the super chat. So let's do those real quick. Brother Nathan with a $2 super chat. He says that with Bitcoin the way he's going, he DM'd me this morning. Bitcoin the way it's going this morning, he's going to start be able to afford $3 super chats here pretty soon. Here you go, guys.
I was just going to say it. This guy fucks. Am I right?
Yes. Brother Nathan definitely fucks. And then we got Brother Ed in the house. Join Beer Club. He says with a $5 super chat. He's here for this one.
Shame this horse.
Yes, we got to shame these whores. I'm going to probably give that one to Commander Vanquisher here too. Bald Brother Wisdom. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. In fact, I need to get something for bald guys too, but we're going to give him Elena's thing as well.
Shame this horse.
Yeah. I need to get something for being bald and beautiful. Okay. Only in the last 10 years has anyone actually been considered unplugged. Oh, you think so? It's only 10 years, you think? I mean, Rollo's been doing this stuff for like 20, 25 fucking years now. So I don't know. I think, man, if you read the Book of Puck came out like early 2000s, well over 10 years. And that guy was clearly unplugged when he read it or when he wrote it. When he wrote his articles in the SoSwab forums, and someone compiled them into a book. But that guy was unplugged way back then. All right, where are we at here? We're at Iron Rule of Tomassi number 3. Any woman, this is a good one. I quote this one a lot too, guys. Okay. Iron Rule of Tomassi number 3. Any woman who makes you wait for sex or by her actions implies she is making you wait for sex. The sex is never worth the wait. All right. This one comes down to the Madonna whore complex. Gentlemen, how many of you guys out there will tell yourself that this chick who is not putting out for you, she's making you take her to all these steak dinners, she's making you take her to trips to Florida, she's making you take her to all this stuff, and she won't put out for you because she's like, look, I don't have sex until I'm in a committed relationship, or I don't have sex until I'm married, okay? And so she's making rules for you, right? And you're like, yeah, I'm going to wait for this one. I think she's a good one. I'm going to wait, right? I see it all the time. I've seen it in my beer club chat. I'm calling out the beer club guys. But there's guys out there that literally believe, well, if she's a good one, she's worth the wait. No, that is not true. Just because she's making you wait does not make her a good girl. Okay? It does not. Because women will make rules for guys that they're not sexually attracted to. But they will absolutely break them for guys that they are sexually attracted to. Okay? Women will go out of their way to fuck you if they want to fuck you. Okay? They will crawl over broken glass, okay? They'll swim through shark-infested waters to fuck you if they are super attracted to you, okay? So even the good ones, even the ones that will wait until they're married or wait until they're in a relationship, if you dig deep enough and she starts being honest with you enough, you'll find out that there's plenty of times where she's had one-night stands and she's, fucked a guy in the Waffle House parking lot. But she's making you wait, brother. She's making you wait, okay? It's the same girl, Okay, so the Madonna whore complex is stupid. It's stupid. Where guys think that a girl who's putting out is a slut and a girl who doesn't put out is wifey material. It's dumb. That's also how you end up in a dead bedroom, right? You end up in a marriage where your wife's only willing to give you starfish sex because she's not that into you. Okay, because if she really was into you, she would fuck you right out the gate. Okay, or at least within 3 dates. Okay, I like to give women the benefit of the doubt with a 3-date rule. Okay, that lets them satisfy that fucking fantasy where they get to, you know, put up their anti-slut defense. That it makes them get to feel more comfortable, right? But if she's not banging you by the end of the 3rd date, cut your losses, man. Okay, she's making rules for you. She's just not that into you. It's okay. Not all of them are going to be into you. Okay. You will find that genuine desire we're always looking for if you have at least a 3-date rule. Okay. But I had a guy DM me the other day and he had been seeing this chick for over a year. They hadn't had sex yet. And I was like, dude, what? Like, I would have cut that off a long fucking time ago. What are you doing? And he's like, well, you know, I mean, we've had some heavy petting every once in a while. And, you know, we've gotten to like 3rd base a couple of times, but she just won't go all the way with me because she's, you know, she's very religious. Like, is she, dude? Is she, or is she just not that into you? You know what I mean? And maybe she is just really religious. Okay. Maybe she really is religious. This is a rule of thumb. But it's a good rule of thumb for men to apply to have a better outcome. Do you understand what I'm saying? You will find that genuine desire. You will find that chick that can't wait to rip your fucking clothes off if you get with chicks that are into you out the gate. Okay. We want to walk through open doors and stop banging on closed doors, right? Okay. Iron Rule of Tomassi number 3. Any woman who makes you wait for sex, right? It's never worth the wait. Okay. That's another one I quote a lot. That one's like, guys, fuck that one up so bad. Yeah. Mormons have soaking and Catholics at least have butt stuff. Okay. They, if they're really into you, they'll let you soak if you're a Mormon. Okay. All right. I live close to Utah. There's lots of Mormons out here. You know what's funny? There's also lots of Mennonites where I'm at. Right. I live out in cow country. There's lots of Mennonites out here and I see them. And every time I see them, right, because these women wear these handmade, long, very conservative dresses and this headgear, and I'm like, that there is a Tradsburg's wet dream right there, right? A girl that is covered up completely, is not showing off any kind of skin, and is completely fucking unattractive in public, right? She purposefully makes herself unattractive to everybody else around. That's a Tradsburg's dream. I will pass on that. Nurse chick on Friday night, I took her out for her birthday, man. She wore the fucking sexiest little black dress. God bless her heart. Okay. All right, guys, let's get to Iron Rule of Tomassi number 4. Never under any circumstance live with a woman you aren't married to or are not planning to marry within 6 months. But Paul, this is the red pill space. What do you mean getting married? Don't you guys advocate not getting married? All we say in the red pill space is that marriage is a bad deal for men. Okay? Marriage is a bad deal for men. But a lot of guys still want to get married, right? Either they have the social programming that they have to get married, or they have the religious belief that they have to get married. Okay. You got to always do what's right for you. That a lot of people miss the whole idea of mental point of origin in the red pill space, right? You have to do what's best for you. If marriage is what you eventually want, one of the prominent minds in the red pill space is a guy named Archwinger. He's married again. He went out, he got married. He remarried a couple of years ago, right? He left the red pill space, I think 11 years ago, and got married again, right? And now he's leading a healthy relationship. You can do that and be red pilled. Okay. Just got to know, like all we say is, hey, it's a bad deal for men. This is how you protect yourself, right? This is how this is like, if you're going to do it, protect yourself, bro. Okay. So never under any circumstance live with a woman you aren't married to or are not planning to marry within 6 months. And really this is a pretty smart rule. Okay. It's just a smart rule in general. It's harder to break up with these chicks, or it's at least more complicated when you move in with these chicks, right? You got a shared lease with this bitch. Now you break up with her. Now what are you going to do? Where are you going to go? Where's she, like, are you going to kick her out or are you going to leave? Right? It's so much harder. And then some places you could fall into common law, right? You can be considered by the state common law married, and be on the hook for her depending on how long you've been together, right? Colorado, where I'm at, is a common law marriage state. If you live with her for more than like 2 years, she can sue you for fucking alimony when you guys break up, right? Why the fuck would you put yourself in that position? Well, I just want to save money on rent, bro. It's not worth it, man. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Sex also a problem that a lot of guys, if they haven't done the work, they haven't read up on like the married red pill stuff, right? They haven't studied. I wouldn't consider the book Red Pill, but read books like Corey Wayne's How to Be a 3% Man, where he has like the last third of the book is all on relationships and how to manage relationships. If you haven't done any of that kind of work and you only understand dating and spinning plates, the sex is going to dry up, bro. It's going to dry up if you move in with her, right? Because women, this is one of the reasons why women will like have enthusiastic sex with you until you get married, until you put a ring on it, and then the blowjobs stop. You're like, what the fuck happened? It's because she no longer has any kind of sense of competition. She knows that she's the sole provider of pussy for you, right? She knows that by your actions and behaviors, right? You go to work, you come home, you're always with her, you spend every waking fucking moment with her. She knows that you have no other options, okay? So when women don't have any kind of competition anxiety, they stop trying so hard. They don't have to work so hard anymore. They know that they've got a monopoly on badge for you, okay? And that you'll do anything because society teaches us happy wife, happy life, right? You'll do anything to not fuck up your access to the vagina, right? So then she starts acting bitchy. She starts acting fucking naggy and stuff like that. And guys are just fucking, beta-tized through 1,000 concessions just so that they don't mess up access to that pussy, okay? But it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. If you guys understand concepts in books like this book that I just finished over the weekend, Dread, right? If you understand Dread Game and stuff like that, you understand what it takes to maintain that attraction in the long term. Okay. If you read books like mine, I talk about maintaining, I have like a whole chapter or a sub chapter on maintaining attraction in the long term in my book too. There's ways to do it, right? There's ways to do it in a healthy way, but most guys don't do that. And what they end up doing to save money is they move their girlfriend in, and then the sex starts drying up, and they start being unattractive themselves, and they thought that they got to the finish line, they get fat and lazy and stuff like that. It doesn't fucking work out. It doesn't fucking work out. So Rollo says, look, you can move in with her, but not unless you're planning to marry her, and you're going to be marrying her within 6 months. Okay. But if you are going to do that, remember, protect yourself and learn shit like read Ryan's book. Okay. Read Ryan's book if that's what you're going to do. All right, guys. If you guys haven't joined my beer club yet, what the fuck are you waiting for, guys? Beer club. If you go to beer.comeonmanpod.com, you could join a good group of like-minded men. It's only $10 a month. It's only $8 a month if you pay for the whole year. And it's a very active Telegram community. It's probably the least expensive men's group in the men's space, right? I don't know how much Men of Action's fucking charging. I know Rich Cooper is charging like $1,100 a month to be in his group. I'm not charging that, man. It's just guys swapping notes in there, right? Join the group. We also have monthly video calls, and our next video call is going to be this Thursday on the 14th. Okay, so join the group now. You can join with a free trial, right? Join the free trial. Show up to the call on Thursday. See if you like it. If you don't like it, leave the group. No harm, no foul. You won't get charged. All right. But if you do like it, stick in the group. The guys are in there talking constantly, swapping notes. There's a lot of note swapping this weekend. It was fucking awesome. All right. And then, guys, if you want to work with me directly, you can book a free call. If you go to coaching.comeonmanpod.com, I invite you to watch the video there, see if working with me might be a good fit for you. And then if you're still not convinced, you could book a free 30-minute call with me at the bottom of the page there. Okay. So check that out. All right. That's the last of the housekeeping, guys, if you're new to the channel. All right, let's get to Iron Rules of Tomassi number 5. Never allow a woman to be in control of the birth. Okay, so this is birth control. This is a birth control situation. How many times have you guys, has this either happened to you or you know of this happening to somebody else, where a guy accidentally knocks up a chick who he thought she was taking the pill? How many times? That's because the guys trusted her with the birth control. Okay. They trusted her with the birth control, and now they're on the hook for at least 18 years of child support. Okay. How many times has that happened? Because the guy trusted her to be in control of the birth. A lot, right? When I was dating Red Pill chick, her daughter got pregnant when she was a senior in high school. And it was because she came to her mom. She tried to be responsible. She tried to be a responsible teenager. She went to her mom. She said, "Mom, look, I've got this boyfriend I'm seeing. I want to start having sex with him. I want to be safe. I want to make sure I'm not getting pregnant. Can you put me on birth control?" And so her mom didn't like it, but she also didn't want her daughter to get pregnant. So she said, "Yeah, fine." So she took her to the doctor, got her put on birth control. Okay. And I think, a lot of guys are like, "Oh, that's enabling her daughter to be a slut." Look, she's going to do it anyway. She's going to do it anyway. So she might as well be protected. All right. Don't be fucking naive and think, well, if I forbid her from going out and having sex, that she's going to listen to me. Teenagers don't work that way. Okay. So you got to equip them to make the best decision they can when they're being stupid. Okay. That's how you parent. Whether like it or not, okay? Like it or not, that's fucking reality. So she goes and takes her to get birth control, and she gets on birth control. But then her mom made the mistake of leaving the sole responsibility of making sure that prescription got renewed and make sure that her daughter was taking it on her daughter, right? Her stupid teenage daughter. All teenagers are stupid. So this isn't like, I'm not pointing the finger at her daughter specifically. All teenagers are fucking stupid. Their brains go dormant at 13 and their brains wake up at 25. Okay. That's how our brains work. And our hormones take over. And so her daughter just she misses getting a prescription renewed. And so she ended up going a couple of weeks without taking the birth control. And during that window, she was still having sex with her boyfriend. And what do you think fucking happened? She got knocked up. Okay. As men, if you do not want to be on the hook for child support for a kid that you don't want, right? If you're out spinning plates and you don't want to get chicks knocked up, birth control is your responsibility, not her responsibility. Okay. You need to make sure that you're bringing the condoms. You need to make sure that if she has the condoms, you don't trust her fucking condoms, right? Because crazy bitches out there poke fucking holes in condoms. Okay. You've got to make sure it's your condom, and you don't want to be putting in your fucking wallet where it's getting dry rot because you ain't hadn't had pussy in 6 fucking months. Okay. You want to make sure you have fresh condoms available and that you're the one bringing them. Okay. Rollo in Rational Male even talks about flushing them down the toilet because, the basketball players in the NBA were getting, women were fucking pulling condoms out of the toilet and inseminating themselves so that they could get these fucking basketball players for child support. Okay. Bitches be crazy. Okay. So you got to make sure that if you're out there, that you're wrapping that rascal. Okay. You're bringing that wrap and you're taking care of it. Okay. It's your responsibility if you don't want to pay child support. Okay. You can't trust these chicks. All right. But Paul, that's a mean thing to say. What about, don't you think you could trust women? No, no, no. Don't fucking trust these chicks, okay? And it's not an indictment on these chicks. This is just in your best interest, okay? Just assume they are all bad actors and you'll be okay, right? you'll be okay. Whether they're bad actors or not, they're probably not. You know, they probably mean well. It's like old girl, right? Red pill chick's daughter, she meant well. She just had a lapse in judgment, okay? Right? It's not like she was trying to get pregnant, but it happens. So you got to be responsible for that shit. Okay. Iron Rule of Tomassi number 6. This one is one of the hardest pills for men to swallow when they first come to this space. And a lot of guys get to this one here and they become very black pilled, right? They become very nihilistic. They start looking at women like women are trash. Right? They give up on women completely. They go to the negative side of MGTOW. Okay. I like to, every once in a while, I like to put out memes out there that sort of poke the bear with the MGTOW crew. But look, there's different types of MGTOW, right? MGTOW is like a spectrum. It's kind of like the autistic spectrum, but MGTOW is a spectrum, right? There's guys on one end of the spectrum that, you know, they date casually, or they might, you know, they haven't given up on women completely. They just, you know, maybe they do like long-term relationships, but they'll never get married again. If that's where you are in the MGTOW space, I would consider myself in the MGTOW space. Okay. Cause I'm never going to get married again, but I am in a long-term relationship with Nurse Chick. She doesn't live with me. She stays with me like every other week, but she has her own place, right? If I get tired of her, I'd be like, get out of here, Nurse Chick, go to your fucking house, right? I haven't said that to her. She did get sick though a couple of weeks ago. And I was like, why don't you just stay home? Like, I'm not interested in getting sick with the fucking bubonic plague or whatever the fuck you got. Love you, but stay at your house, right? It works out well that way. She has her own place that she could go to for stuff like that. So I would consider myself on that spectrum of the MGTOW scale. Then you got guys that are over on this side of the spectrum, which are like, you know, they're all black pill. They hate women. They all women are trash. They only get hookers, right? They're like, right. If it floats, flies, or fucks, rent it. Right. That's the juice ain't worth the squeeze. Right. That's where you get with this kind of stuff. And I see guys in the black pill space complain about this so much. Right. But Iron Rule of Tomassi number 6. Women are utterly incapable of loving a man in the way a man expects to be loved. Okay. Now I'm going to read that again. Women are utterly incapable of loving a man in the way that a man expects to be loved. Okay. That's not to say that women don't love. Okay. That love doesn't exist. It's that women don't love you the way you love them. Okay. Women just love differently, and that's okay. All right. Men love idealistically. Women tend to love opportunistically. Ryan in Dread describes it as women are pragmatists disguised as romantics, right? Women always talk about how like they want to be romanced and all this kind of stuff, but really what they want is, you know, they want to join a man's lifestyle and what he could provide for her. Right? The man is secondary in that equation. It's the lifestyle and what can be provided to her is what makes her love a man. Okay. It's one of the hardest pills for men to swallow, right? What do you mean she doesn't love me unconditionally? It's like, bro, you shouldn't love her unconditionally either, right? If you're smart about it, you're not going to love her unconditionally either. Aaron Clary in the space, he strongly believes that all relationships at some level are transactional. I tend to agree with him on that. At some level, they are transactional. And if you're not getting out of the relationship what you're putting into the relationship, you might want to reconsider that relationship. Okay. But a lot of guys will just plow through, right? They'll be the plow horse and they will keep providing, whether they're respected, whether they're getting anything in return, whether the wife's putting out or not. They're like, no, I made a commitment. I am a man. It's what a man does. A man provides. It's like a man isn't supposed to be taken for granted. All right. But you're letting yourself be taken for granted because you think that's what a man's supposed to do because you love your wife unconditionally. You got those wife goggles on. Fix that shit, bro. Fix that shit. Become your own mental point of origin. So, women's love is defined by hypergamy. Okay. And Ryan describes it very well in Dread. Ryan describes it very well in Dread. Being her best possible option, right? That's basically what it means, right? Women only love one man at a time. And if she thinks you're her best possible option, she is loyal to you and she loves you. Okay. That's how women work in a nutshell. Okay. A very simplified way of explaining it, but that's how it works. If she thinks that you're her best possible option, she will be loyal to you and she will love you. Okay. Being her best possible option is based on all sorts of variables, but mainly how you make her feel, right? How you are perceived by other women, which is where Dread comes in, right? Frame, muscles, game, and sometimes even money, right? That all plays a factor, right? Ryan talks about being a luxury brand in Dread, okay? If you are a luxury brand, she thinks you're her best option, right? And if she thinks you're her best option, then she won't be looking to trade up, okay? Now, it's funny. So Ryan, when he talks about luxury brand, he gives the example of edamame. Do you guys know what edamame is? Right? It's basically soybeans, right? And he talks about how soybeans are a commodity. It's a commodity crop, right? It's super cheap to grow soybeans. And so they have like an overabundance of soybeans. So they're like, well, how the fuck do we sell these? How do we sell these to rich people? Well, let's get a bunch of 5-star chefs to start cooking these soybeans and let's call it something fancy. Let's call it edamame, right? Or it's just steamed soybeans with salt and fucking garlic butter, right? But now it's a luxury brand and rich people are like, ooh, this is a delicacy. They don't realize it's a fucking commodity. Like you could get those super cheap, but now they sell them super expensive and call it edamame. It's branding, right? So men these days, men are no longer needed, right? But women sure as hell want a man, but men aren't needed. And men are a dime a dozen. Men are a commodity. So how do we make ourselves stand apart so that she thinks that we're their best possible option? We become a luxury brand. Okay. Get Ryan's books. Fucking awesome. Now, if you are in a relationship with a woman, okay, and this is where a lot of guys find their way to the red pill space. If you are in a relationship with a woman and you start slipping in your relationship, you stop doing what made you attractive to her in the first place, right? You become beta-tized through 1,000 concessions. Then she starts doubting that you're her best possible option. Okay. When she starts doubting that you're her best possible option, that's when she stops being loyal. Okay. It's one of the reasons we really can't be vulnerable with women. Okay. Women, they always talk about, oh, you got to be vulnerable and right? Express your emotions to your girl. No, cannot fucking do that. We can't fall into her frame and do that kind of shit. She's not the right outlet for it. You know what is a good outlet for it? If you're having a bad fucking day, the beer club is a good outlet for that. Okay. Your girl is not a good outlet for that. All right. It's one of the reasons why we can't be vulnerable with women, right? It's a fucking trap. That stuff kills attraction over time. It kills attraction over time. It's a hard pill for guys to swallow, but it's fucking true. Okay. And when her attraction starts to fade away this is where in the relationship lifestyle, her evolutionary selfishness kicks in and she starts looking for a better option, right? This is where girls stop being loyal and she starts looking for a better option. And when she starts fucking other dudes, she's basically out of love with you, right? Women, like men, so women often think that men are hypergamous too, right? They look to trade up. Mm-mm. Men want to fuck everything, right? Our sexual strategy is basically polygyny. We want to fuck everything that moves, right? If guys, if they could get away with it, right? If it would be more socially acceptable, guys would be fucking everything, right? Like a guy could step out on his girl and still be loyal to his girl, right? He could still love her and then fuck other chicks and literally have that be meaningless. But typically when women step out on you, it's because she's no longer in love with you and she now loves someone else. That's the difference between men and women cheating. Okay. When she's stepping out on you, she no longer loves you. She loves someone else. Okay. Or at least she's trying to find a better option. When guys step out, it's just because we want variety. Okay. Not to say that men and women can't control that, right? Men and women can control their urges, right? Like a lot of you guys out there have probably had the urge, to bang other chicks, but instead of actually going out and banging other chicks, you watch porn and jerk off or something, right? Like you just don't act on it. But women, and women will be the same way, right? Women, they have they're not in love with you anymore. They might, fantasize about Brad Pitt or something like that, but they're not actually stepping out on you, but they're not fucking you anymore either, right? That's where you get like sex every 2 months in a relationship type thing, right? She's no longer in love with you. So no matter how you shake it, men have the burden of performance, right? It's Breifeld's law, right? Which is the female, not the male, determines all the conditions of the animal family. Where the female can derive no benefit from association with the male, no such association takes place, okay? So we always have the burden of performance to make sure that we're always maintaining our attractiveness. But like Ryan says in the book, the go plan is the same as the stay plan. Okay. If you're always maintaining your attractiveness, whether she stays or goes, it's irrelevant. Because if you're always on top of your game, always the most attractive fucking guy out there, you'll get another chick, right? So it's like, whatever. You just got to constantly work on yourself to be the best possible option you can be. And your girl either takes it or leaves it. But if she leaves it, the next girl will take it. So don't fucking worry about it. Okay. All right. Iron Rules of Tomassi number 7. This is probably one of my most favorite ones. I mentioned at the beginning. I quote this one a lot. Yeah, Donja's right. Abundance mindset, even when you're in a relationship. Okay. Doesn't mean you got to go around fucking other chicks. Okay. But you always got to realize that, it's basically how you don't have one-itis for your girl. Okay. And if you don't have one-itis, you're actually more attractive to her because you're not needy. Okay. You don't placate to her bullshit. She can't get her way with you. And that's actually more attractive to women. Right. That's a whole other episode. Okay. Iron Rule of Tomassi number 7. It is always time and effort better spent developing new, fresh, prospective women than it will ever be in attempting to reconstruct a failed relationship. Never root through the trash once the garbage has been dragged to the curb. You get messy, your neighbors see you do it, and what you thought was worth digging for is never as valuable as you thought it was. This is the iron rule about not getting back together with your fucking ex. But so many guys find their way to the space because they got dumped or their wife is divorcing them. They got blindsided by it because they never saw it fucking coming. But the truth is, women, usually when they're ready to fucking drop that brick in your lap, they've been planning it for 2 years, right? They've been lining up their orbiters. They knew about it. They've been unhappy for a long time when they finally pull that trigger. But guys obliviously float along. They float along. They don't realize what's going on and they get fucking blindsided. So then they're like, oh, I must have fucked up. Let me try to reattract her. Let me try to get my ex back. And so that's where a lot of guys find their way to the space. And when guys come to me for coaching, and it's usually like, I do get a lot of guys coming to me because they want to reattract an ex, the first thing I ask them is like, why do you want to reattract her? And then the second thing I usually tell them is Iron Rule of Tomassi number 7, right? Dude, it's done, bro. It's done. Learn from it, okay, and move on. There's going to be better chicks out there. And the funny thing is that guys, once they embrace that and they actually go out and start spinning plates, they realize that their last relationship wasn't that great, right? They're looking at their last relationship with rose-colored glasses. It was a fucking mess, dude. How long have you been arguing and fighting with this chick, right? For fucking probably 2 years, right? She's been a naggy bitch for 2 years and you want that back? But all you're thinking about is how much you miss them, right? How much, what the good times. You're only focused on the good times. You never think about the bad times when you're trying to reattract an ex, but there's probably a lot of bad times. There's a reason that relationship ended, right? So when guys do the work on themselves and they start studying this stuff and start applying it, and then they find themselves in good, healthy relationships where the chicks treat them like absolute fucking gold, right? That's the outcome you want. and it's going to be time and effort better spent doing that, cultivating those new relationships. All right. Oh, we got another super chat here for Brother John. Why are you describing my ex and marriage? Dude, one of the things that Ryan says in Dread is that everybody's misery is the same. Like we all have the same experience when shit goes down, right? It's kind of funny. $5 super chat. We're going to get this one.
Shame this horse.
Yes, we're going to shame these horse. All right. So that's Iron Rule of Tomassi number 7. Okay. And I'm sure a lot of you guys watching right now are probably in that boat. You're probably in that boat where you're wanting to reattract an ex. A lot of that comes down to rejection. When we get rejected, it builds an obsession, you know? And so we start over analyzing why things failed. Why did things fail? What did I do wrong? Right. And sometimes, I mean, it is good to look at what did you do wrong so that you can apply good, healthy practices in your next relationship. Okay. But a lot of times once your girl dumps you, she's got a preconceived notion of who you are. Okay. So no matter, like, you do all the work on yourself, she's never going to believe that's the real you because she's seen the old you and she looks at you a certain way. You know what I mean? It's not impossible, but it's very hard for anybody, not just women, but anybody to start believing that's the real you. Okay. So you're better off being the new you, the new improved best version of you in the next relationship where the chick has no preconceived notions. Okay. All right. Iron Rule of Tomassi number 8. We're almost done here, guys. This one's a fun one. I like this one. This is a good one. Iron Rule of Tomassi number 8. Always let a woman figure out why she won't fuck you. Never do it for her. Okay. This one, a lot of guys will start talking about sex. They'll they'll open their fucking mouths and then they'll insert their fucking foot. Right? Oh, I just lost power here. All right. Everything's all fucked up there, guys. My power went out in my house. Power went out during a fucking live stream. My laptop's still going, but like my cam and stuff's not working. So we'll just go out here on the patio and finish this up. Let's see here. We got to Iron Rule of Tomassi number 8. Guys, I don't have my show notes here. Can you guys, someone look up Iron Rule of Tomassi number 8 for me? It was never let a woman, or oh God, it's always let a woman figure out why she won't fuck you, right? That's where we were at. So we were talking about how a lot of guys will talk themselves out of contention, right? They will talk themselves out of contention. They'll open their mouth. They'll insert their foot. This is one of the reasons why the 80-20 rule works well when you're out dating, right? If you let a woman do 80% of the talking, you do 20% of the talking, then you're less likely to talk yourself out of contention with a chick, right? What is? Let me look up Iron Rule of Tomassi number 9 here, because I don't have my notes with me anymore, and now I'm fucking winging it, and we gotta fucking wrap this up. Let's see, Iron Rules. Let's see here. Of Tomassi. Someone drop it in the chat, would you? It would be much easier. It'd be much easier if we do that. God bless this. Where are we at? There we are. Okay. Someone drop it in the chat. Here we go. Thank you, Nurse Chick. God. Iron Rule of Tomassi number 9. Once you've accepted, no, that's not it. Nurse Chick, that's not the right one. Look in the description of the video. I've got all the Iron Rules in the description of the video. I don't know where you found that one, Nurse Chick, but that is not it. We do have some super chats here. I'm not going to pull them up on the screen because I'm trying to do this with my fucking cell phone. But we've got guys making fun of me about fucking the electrical fund there. Mitch with the $5 Canadian for the electrical bill fund. Thank you so much for that. All right. Never self-deprecate. That's it. Never self-deprecate under any circumstance. This is a kiss of death that you self-initiate and is the antithesis of the prize mentality. Right? Once you've accepted yourself and presented yourself as a complete douche, there's no going back to confidence with women. That's what it is. Okay, so basically, don't self-deprecate, okay? This is a thing a lot of guys do. They think they're being funny. They'd like to talk to girls about what a loser they are. There's a guy who just joined Beer Club, and he was downplaying everything that he was doing, right? He was like, he's in the military. I won't say what branch, but he's in the military, and people were asking, well, what do you do in the military? He's like, meh, it's nothing exciting. I do this, right? And he's like, I'm kind of a boring guy, you know, like chicks aren't very interested in me and stuff. It's like, well, what kind of hobbies do you have? He's like, oh, I play music and I'm into this, I'm into that. We're like, why are you downplaying that, dude? Like chicks dig musicians and stuff, man. What are you talking about? And, you know, and he's downplaying the stuff he's doing in the military. I'm like, why are you fucking talking? Like you got a lot of negative self-talk going on, right? That makes you unattractive. It makes you an unattractive guy. So a lot of guys do that kind of stuff. They self-deprecate. They talk themselves down to women, and women, you're going to basically talk yourself out of contention. It's the same kind of thing as Iron Rule number 8, right? Don't do that. Talk yourself up, right? If anything, women sort of like guys with confidence and a little bit of bravado. They like guys that are a little bit arrogant, right? They like that. So fucking, why would you downplay yourself, right? You're trying to sell yourself. You know what I mean? So, all right, guys, that's it. I'm gonna wrap this up. This is bullshit. I can't believe the fucking power went out. Guys are talking about you got to pay your power bill. It's not the power bill. It's the fucking cow pasture, right? It's where I live. The power goes out here probably a good, I don't know, 10 times a year, just randomly. And the other day it went out because the telephone pole up the road here fucking fell over, and like half the power lines like crashed. And I fucking called up Thor. I'm like, Thor, what the fuck, bro? Anyway. All right, guys, thanks for joining me today. I would normally do the normal wrap-up stuff. Tune into the podcast Wednesday. We're going to be talking about women when they say, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. What does that really mean? Okay, I'm going to be pulling stuff from Ryan Stone's book on dread, stuff from Athol K's The Married Man Sex Life Primer. And I'm going to be talking about probably some stuff from the Married Red Pill. Oh, I didn't mean to show that. I'm hitting buttons here. There's a reason why I don't do streams for my phone. It's too hard to fucking do this. All right, guys, that's all I got. Let's see here. Can I play this out here? Yeah, I can. Just got to find it here. That's that. What a fucking clusterfuck. All right, guys, we will see you guys on Wednesday.
This has been the Come On Man podcast. New full episodes served hot every Monday morning on your favorite podcast platform of choice. So subscribe now. Follow Paul on social media. The links are in the description. Now, Go out and get it.